Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and I hope you're all well. I've just jumped on quickly to make this video. I've got a very busy day today with Spanish classes, but I just had to say something about this because it's a story that we have followed, we have looked at, and I just want to let you know. Well, first of all, let me just say thank you to everybody. So if I say what's on my little ticker and then I can take it off, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you to all of you that have joined my channel, all of you that have either bought me a Ko-fi or sent me super chats, etc. Means so much to me. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to say that first, as always. And thank you to those of you who have started doing Spanish classes with me, because there's a couple of you now are actually taking Spanish classes with me. Thank you for that as well. So what's happened now? I'm going to talk about Gareth Williams, the body in the bag. We just recently, I did a video, didn't I, about this case, which was the I don't know if he was a spy, but he was quite high up in security at GCHQ, and he was found in sort of curled up in a hold-all bag in his bathroom, in his flat, deceased. It's a very mysterious story, and I'll put a link to the video that I did about it. Now, I'll tell you, YouTube picked up on that video. The more I think, there are some things. Did they pick up on it? I mean, it wasn't particularly gory, more than any other true crime video that I've made that has, gone through the YouTube checks, if you like, without a problem, even if I put murder in the title and things like that. Maybe it was because it was, I just don't know. But anyway, it was, and not only was it demonetized, but because quite often they do demonetize it at first because it's of the subject of true crime, but then they allow the monetization later on when you appeal. But this one was sustained. It was restrict, because the thing about monetization, it's not only about them, you get paid for the ads going on to it. It's not only about that, because the thing is, if it's monetized, they put it out to more. The algorithm throws it out to more possible, people that will possibly watch it. And so I'm going to be careful about this one. When I put it out, I'm going to have a little look at the thumbnails that I did before and what I said, and try and say it in a different way. But personally, I don't think it will make any difference. I think they pick up on things. We found this recently, with them blocking a couple of my videos in Great Britain, but them being available in other countries. It's very mysterious, all this. But anyway, the video that I've made before about this was not only demonetized, but kept as demonetized, not suitable. But what was not suitable about it? Is it when you talk about the government? You just don't know, do you? So anyway, but I'm doing this video anyway because I just wanted to show you something. So one of my subscribers sent me a news article. So it's been in the news again yesterday. Today we're on the 5th of February. It was in the news again yesterday. And he sent me this link to this newspaper article because there's been a little bit of an update. So this is the Daily Mirror. And this article was the 4th of February, and it was updated at 9:16 on the 5th of February. So it's a recent article in the Mirror. And they say there's been a breakthrough. So this was Gareth. I won't go through the whole story again, but I will link to the previous video that I made. So spy in bag mystery breakthrough over MI6 worker Gareth Williams found in padlocked hold-all. Scotland Yard officers ordered new laboratory tests to be carried out on key items found at the scene of Gareth Williams's death in the government-owned flat in Pimlico. Now, something you may, anyway, I'll talk about that later. No. So, a forensic review into the death of body in the bag, MI6 spy Gareth Williams, found he was likely alone when he died. Now, we have the coroner, in this case, decided that they thought there was some foul play. And also, our old friend Peter Faulding, he was there trying to get into the bag, which I'm going to show you in a minute, calling himself a forensic expert. And he said he thought there was foul play. So this is another case where Peter has gone against the police's line. So the 31-year-old's naked body was found in a North Face bag in August 2010 with enduring theories, including that he was the victim of a Russian hitman. We went through all these different theories, a hostile foreign intelligence agency, or had been involved in a sex game that went wrong. There were lots of different theories. Scotland Yard officers ordered new laboratory tests to be carried out on key items found at the scene of his death in the government-owned flat in Pimlico, central London, half a mile from MI6's headquarters. Modern forensic techniques, where's that gone? Modern forensic techniques allowed detectives to identify the DNA found. Now, that was said at the time there was DNA, very faint DNA, and they were hoping that one day DNA techniques would be sophisticated enough to see whose it was. So now they're saying that they identified the DNA found on a green towel in a kitchen cupboard in the flat, described as a significant find, and they say it belonged to Williams rather than a third party. Why it's significant, I don't know, because he didn't have the green towel with him, I suppose. Anyway, this was his flat. This poor guy seemed like a very nice guy. He was a very fit guy. He was folded into this bag in the bath, and there was conjecture about whether he could have got himself into it, but also there was conjecture about whether anyone could have put him into it just because of the way he was so, I personally think it's feasible, because also what had happened, we've got to put context to this. He had several years earlier had to be freed from the bed where he had tied himself to a bed where he was living, and the landlord and landlady heard his screams for help and came and had to untie him. Was he trying a similar sort of escape thing, just like I said, just like a bit fed up on a Saturday night or whatever, and maybe he was intrigued as to whether he could get out of this hold all. People do things like that. I think we have to remember that people do things like that. And then did he just get in the bag, the carbon dioxide maybe killed him, or he dropped the key or whatever, and then found he couldn't get out. And maybe that's true. I'm not saying it's what happened. I'm saying it's a possibility. And that's what the police were saying. It was possible. Anyway, what I want now, it just makes me laugh every time I see this. And I'm sorry, because I know it's a serious subject and I shouldn't laugh. But Peter got involved in this, Peter Faulding, and he tried to get in this bag about 400 times, I think, in total. And you can see he can't get in it. But the thing is, Peter Faulding, he is a different, it's completely different to Gareth, because Gareth was very fit, he was very flexible. Some people are contortionists and can get into small areas, but we can see Peter couldn't get in it, and apparently he tried over 400 times. He's a little bit more stocky than Gareth. Is he as flexible as Gareth? You know, and he just couldn't do it. Well, he's nearly in it there, I suppose, but it just makes me laugh every time I look at this. I think of him doing it 400 times over and over again. And here, look what they say here. In 2012, a yoga specialist. Sorry. It's just making me laugh because this guy, you know, is there anything he's not a specialist in? So he's been, you know, he's a sonar specialist. He's, you know, he's a specialist in so many things. I think the last news thing I saw, they described him as a small spaces specialist or something. Now he's being described as a yoga specialist. You just couldn't make it up, could you? So there you go. I didn't know Peter was a yoga specialist. Oh dear. Anyway, somebody put, or either Gareth put himself in this, a similar bag to this. Either Gareth put himself in it or somebody else put him in it, and they put it in his bath. And of course, a lot of you were saying, well, they've put it in his bath, you know, so that well, some people were saying put it there for collection to be taken off and dumped. Some people were saying they'd put it in the bath because then as he decomposed, bless him, it would go down the plug hole because he was heavily decomposed by the time they found him. You know, and Peter Faulding, we watched a couple of interviews that Peter Faulding did that said that he thought it was foul play. However, Detective Chief Inspector Neil John of the Metropolitan Police's Specialist Crime Command, which has been reassessing the evidence for the past 2 years, said that in February 2021, a forensic assessment was undertaken, which was also peer-reviewed by a forensic manager in respect of all exhibits seized during this investigation. This resulted in a resubmission of exhibits to the forensic laboratory and additional examinations being sought. He said the findings of the review were returned to the Met in November 2023 and no new DNA had been found, which means that Williams was likely alone when he died, Met sources told the Sunday Times. You know, so I don't know, there was no DNA, but you know, if they were like experts or if they were Russians or, you know, would they have known how to, you know, remove their DNA? It's a very strange one, isn't it? It's a weird one. It's a bit of a weird one. And there was apparently no fingerprints on the bath. You know, Peter Faulding said that you couldn't get in that whole door without touching the bath. There weren't even Gareth's fingerprints on there. So it's, you know, it's another mystery. How does Peter get involved in all these mysterious cases? You know, it's like, there he is, the yoga expert. Peter, please don't get upset because I'm laughing. You've got to admit it is quite funny because it is referring to you as a yoga. He is referring to you as a yoga specialist. I'm sorry, it's just tickled me. Peter, you need to contact this newspaper and tell. Unless maybe you are a yoga specialist as well, along with everything else that you're a specialist. It's just tickled me. It really has tickled me. Anyway, I think that's about it. Also, the poor family, because the family are convinced that something untoward happened, his family, and they've been informed of the review's outcome. And a Met source told the Sunday Times that at the time of, where's it gone? At the time of his death, wow, stop jumping about. At the time of his death, he was working as technical support for a highly sensitive MI6 field operation, which involved gathering intelligence from the London embassies of hostile nations. And then, of course, you'll see if you watch the other video, he didn't like doing that, and he had asked to transfer back to GCHQ, where he'd been working before. He didn't like working in London, and he was on leave when this happened, and he was due to return to GCHQ in the September, so this prevented him returning. So again, you know, a lot of people blame the Russians, but what about our own secret service? The FBI got involved in it all. You know, everyone was involved in this. It was a very sensitive case because of the nature of the things he was working on. So yeah, but I just thought I thought it might make you smile. I mean, I know it's a serious subject, I know that, I don't mean to be facetious, but it is quite, just makes me laugh watching Peter get into that, trying to get into that bag, and then knowing that they've called him a yoga specialist. I mean, maybe he is a yoga specialist, I don't know. Somebody else will have to let me know that. But that's the conclusion that the police have come to. Now, we know that the police don't always come to the right conclusion. So believe me, I'm not saying that they're right and Peter's wrong in this case. I absolutely can honestly say, hand on heart, I haven't got a clue what happened in this case. Let's have a look at the comments. Have we got any comments? Oh, yeah. I don't think people will be happy with that. Look, I've watched enough spy movies to know he was disposed of by a third party, etc. It could have been an old school enemy, an ex-partner, or the cleaning lady didn't pay. Dear me. So there was a time, oh God, there was a time when the missionary position was quite adequate for the gentleman. After a few grunts, and upon leaving the bedroom, announced to his spouse that he would be spending the next evening with friends at the Gentlemen's Club in Pall Mall. But now all this malarkey of getting dressed up or not and the use of implements is too time-consuming. Oh, dear me. Where's the rest of him? Oh, yeah, the key was found in the suitcase. Was there a spare? I don't believe this guy did this to himself. Wonder if anyone has yeah, so I think generally people don't believe the police basically. But I wonder if anybody's actually spotted the facts. No, nobody's mentioned the fact that Peter Faulding actually is not well, as far as we know. I didn't know he was a yoga expert. But there you go. There's another case. That's going to be one of them, isn't it? Like, you know, we've been looking at Nicola Bulley. There's a Madeleine McCann case. This case. There are some cases that you just don't feel there's ever going to be a proper answer, or an answer that everybody accepts. You know, there'll always be, some people will accept what the police say, and other people will say no way. And same with Madeleine McCann, same with Nicola Bulley. These are just enduring mysteries. But for me now, I've got an extra enduring mystery, which is Peter Faulding a yoga specialist? Maybe he is. Okay, so I just thought I'd update you. So that's the latest news about that case. And I'll see you very soon in the next video. Live and love. Don't use those implements and try and lock yourself in a case. Please don't. Don't try it at home. Please don't. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God, as always, go with you. Bye.